We feel, and we don't feel, we know that congressional approval is not necessary to put up a ballroom. And many things have been built on the site, they've never gotten congressional approval. And especially when the money is all put up. This is all donations by people that love our country, that love the White House, and that feel it was very necessary.
Most people his age show you pictures of their grandkids. This guy pulls out a huge picture of his huge ballroom.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the middle of a war, and that is such an important point. And the president is walking around with giant renderings of a ballroom that no one has approved, that he just has come up with out of his own mind. There is a tone deafness here, and it's part and parcel, I mean, with all the other things. His name is going on an airport in Florida, okay, fine. He wants to put his name on the Kennedy Center, which is also gonna be challenged. He put his name on the Institute of Peace. He's signing currency, which has never been done before from a sitting president. This is stuff that you see in let's put it this way, non-democratic nations, not things that you see in the United States of America.
Are you guys really that mad about the ballroom? I mean, honestly, there's a giant hole in the ground now. What are we going to do? Just leave it there? When you get the government involved in building stuff, ask the people in California what happens when the government gets involved in building stuff. You don't build anything. There's a big hole. I agree.
This is like saying, we burned down the house, so what are we going to do?
Yeah,
I guess we have to rebuild
it.
He
He's
tore
building
down the ballroom.
At a private contribution.
I
There's
think
no
it's
tax money.
fair for Americans to be upset about
what he
tearing
did to
down the
East
East
Wing,
Wing.
which I think has tremendous historical value that nobody even bothered to save anywhere. I am pissed at what he's done to Jackie Kennedy's garden. Is it the thing I'm most pissed off about? No, I care a lot more about the people that have gotten killed in the streets of Minneapolis, but I think it's pretty outrageous that he is acting like a king and destroying history.
I think the most fascinating thing for me is, like, none of us are surprised by the fact that, like, this is stuff that he has time to pay attention to, and I don't know that this was something he was focusing on intently, but like the ballroom stuff on Air Force One, pulling out the new rendering as everybody's like, so, you know, like the Strait of Hormuz is closed. What's the deal with, are we going to deploy ground troops? He's like, hang on, let me show you the rendering of the ballroom, and by the way, there's a secret underground layer of sorts. Yeah. Like, that to me is remarkable, and I understand he moves 1,000,000 miles an hour and can do 1,000,000 things at once, but I like that at some point, like, in any other world, every Republican who's running in the midterms would look at that and go, you've got to be kidding me right now.
This is a view of the columns as they are going to be made. They're going to be hand-carved, and they're beautiful. Top of the line, they'll be Corinthian, which is considered the best, most beautiful by far. Okay?
What's your timeline on this thing?
Timeline, so we're ahead of schedule and under budget, and all of this money, all of the money paid are paid by myself and donors, and it's all donors. There's not one dime of government money going into the ballroom. Now the military is building a big complex under the ballroom, which has come out recently because of a stupid lawsuit that was filed. But the military is building a massive complex under the ballroom, and that's under construction, and we're doing very well. So we're ahead of schedule. That's part of it. The ballroom essentially becomes a shed for what's being built under the military, including from drones and including from any other thing. The glass on the windows, you see the big windows, the glass is extremely thick. It's high-grade bulletproof glass, so all of the windows are bulletproof. I think the Times wrote, gee, some of the windows are fake. We have no fake windows. They talked about a stairway in the South. We don't have a stairway in the South. That was replaced a long time ago. But this is a view of it from the north, and that's, if you see it, it fits in with the White House. It's almost a twin to the White House. It's something we just wanted to pay tribute to the White House. And so that fits in beautifully. Let me just see another one. Here's another one. Wait, excuse me, wait. I thought I'd do this now because it's easier. I'm so busy that I don't have time to do this. But I'm fighting wars and other things. But this is very important because this is going to be with us for a long time, and it's going to be, I think it'll be the greatest ballroom anywhere in the world. It's its highest level. Same height, exact height of, not higher, same height as the White House, exactly the same height. And if you look, you have the White House over here, you have this, and that's a duplicate of the wall. So it pays total homage to the White House, which is, I think, very important. It's basically, I mean, I wrote a part of his opinion, but basically he's saying I need congressional approval. And he's so wrong. This is being financed privately. It's a donation that's being given by companies, very rich people, so that for 150 years they've wanted a ballroom here. We're going to have the finest ballroom, I believe, anywhere in the world. And he said, we need congressional approval. Well, they don't get congressional approval from the White House. When they do things, they don't, especially when we didn't ask for any tax money. We have no tax. This is taxpayer free. We have no taxpayer putting up 10 cents. And I see right here, I just wrote it out, he said, we need congressional approval. Well, we built many things at the White House over the years. They don't get congressional approval when they build in the White House. It's totally separate. And especially when it's a donation. I mean, the ballroom is a donation. It's gotten great reviews. People love it. And presidents for 150 years have wanted this ballroom to be built, because when we have President Xi or other presidents or prime ministers coming, we don't have a big room. We have the East Room, which is very small. And he said we need congressional approval. He also said, but this is positive for us, I'm allowed, that meaning we are allowed to continue building as necessary to, let's see, what is that? To cover the safety and security of the White House and its grounds. So it says here very carefully, the safety and security have to be protected of the White House grounds. Well, that's what we're doing, because everything's bulletproof glass, et cetera, et cetera.
So unfortunately for Donald, the judge ruled that he has to get approval from Congress before he can finish building out his ballroom / bunker big boy Hot Wheels fantasy. You know, while we creep to the midterm elections, it's clear that that's all he's ever really cared about. Some type of way to leave a lasting physical legacy of some sort, whether it's putting his signature on our dollar bills or, well, all of our currency, you know, making the 250th commemoration coin with his liking, changing different types of facilities' names with his. Reporters come, they asking him about the draft, like, hey, man, are we going to have a draft? Are our sons and daughters going to have to go die in Iran? And he's like, yeah, well, forget about that. Look at this really cool picture I have. It's a really big ballroom. We're going to be able to have all the biggest, coolest guests in the whole world come through the White House while I'm there. You know, because he, of course, doesn't plan on leaving. But, you know, this is who he is. This is who he's always been. He's never been a serious figure in any way. And unfortunately, he's dragged us all into a conflict in the Middle East that could drag on for years. This could, you know, nobody knows when or how this is going to come to an end. On one day, he says it's over. The next day, he says that he's going to blow Iran off the face of the earth. It just goes on and on. You know, the interest with Israel, what have you. So unfortunately for us and the rest of the world, we have this child running the country.